Abundance, 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 and gratitude to all. Every complex cell needs to watch this video, and every so-called black person that wants to be and live like the complex cell, you should watch this video as well. The economic, your money, the ideology of that was created off the genocide of so-called black women. But the people that created it and the people that runs the show actually are entities on this planet that are wearing a meat suit. And all of you have been enslaved. Every last one, even myself was a slave at one point in time, until you wake up to true reality and understand and understand what's really happening and taking place on this planet. So the complex cell was created with an expiration date. They were used for an entity that's on this planet that its job is to make so-called black people suffer, to make them forget about who they truly are, make them forget about their black magic and their power, and in getting them to use their power to create a world that is a prison for us. However, I'm getting ready to push play. Check this out. You guys know that 1913 was the year we You guys know that 1913 was the year we actually lost control of our country, right? Oh, and just for historical context, World War I started in 1914. I mean, look, I'm sure that was a coincidence, but let me just tell you all the things that were created in 1913. First, the Federal Reserve, which is neither federal nor has any reserves. It's basically a private bank that just controls all of our money. Second thing created in 1913 was the IRS. And I'm sure it's just a coincidence that it was created the exact same year that a private bank took over all of our money. Yeah, I'm sure it's a coincidence that that was the year they started taxing you. Like, you work, they print, and then you pay them back with interest. Yeah, that makes sense. The next thing created was the Rockefeller Foundation. Yeah, and let's be real, that was all about philanthropy. It's not like they took control of medicine, education, science, and basically the health of the world. I mean, let's be real, all they were doing was donating money. Yeah, it's not like they were buying control of everything. Oh, and that worked out so well, right? Because people are healthier and more self-sufficient than ever, right? Oh yeah, also in 1913 was the American Cancer Society. I mean, that sounds like a good thing, right? That can't possibly be bad, except it was completely funded by extremely wealthy people. But even though it was a charity, they never really gave to anyone. No, they just took their money and invested in pharmaceutical drugs. Oh, and chemo. Yeah, instead of taking that money and investing in companies that were trying to find a cure, no, we'll just invest in companies that use chemicals from the military that were later banned. Yeah, that's a good thing to keep fucking putting into people. Then also created in 1913, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. Which, sure, yeah, it's about civil rights. Yeah, totally. It's not about censoring people or, silencing critics. And then in 1914, we had World War I. And that became the first war ever that private industry profited from war. The private industry that's owned by the same families that created the Fed, the IRS, the Rockefeller Foundation, the American Cancer Society, the ADL. Again, just a coincidence. Oh, I'd also like to point out that a year prior to 1913, 1912, yeah, that was when the Titanic sank. And it's funny how three of the wealthiest individuals on that ship were the loudest voices opposed to central banking. Oh, and there's also the little tidbit that JP Morgan was supposed to be on that boat, but he canceled at the last second. But yeah, that's conspiracy. That's tinfoil hat talk. So what's happened since 1913? Well, the dollar has lost 99% of its value. Our debt has just become like a number that we ignore. Middle class getting fucked daily. War is now an industry instead of a conflict. Oh yeah, and your money isn't real anymore. Like, it's just not real. It's not backed by anything. It's just numbers on a paper that private bank prints. So guys, look, if you're worried about America being conquered or, a rebellion or it being taken over. Yeah. So anyone that speaks with this draconian tongue, anyone so-called black people that have this ideology on their front line and promoting this, you are dangerous to our race. You are very dangerous. This is the most foolishness, the most foolish, the most, weirdest thing that you can possibly do as a so-called black person is to promote an economic system that was built off the genocide of your so-called black women and children. All the natural resources come from the planet. There is no reason in the world that we should have an economic system. You don't see that in nature at all. This is very sad and disgrace. And the fact that all you have to do is do some research. You don't have to do a whole lot of research. All of the information is there. They're not lying about anything that they're doing because they have to use universal law. They got to tell you the truth. But they feel as though that you are so inept. Your mental status is so broken that you will go along with the flow like dead fish and even promote death to your own people. And this go for so-called black people and white people, because white people think they have some sort of advantage. And you was nothing. You are a pawn on the board. They used you. That's all that they did. And you don't want to face that reality. But that reality is coming. That reality is coming to your face more and more. It's getting harder and harder each and every second of the day with a sunrise. It is getting harder and harder with each sunrise to ignore the fact that you are genetically modified on a planet that's ran off solar radiation, and your anatomy rejects solar radiation, and the fact that there was a system that was created using you to abuse the so-called black woman and her children. And that's what took place. And now this world is coming to an abrupt end. And all of you that want to ignore the fact that history is telling itself and repeating itself right here and right now, you all deserve exactly what you get. More importantly, our people that are supporting this economic system, you will be a clear example on what not to do. Abundance and gratitude to you all.